There is a secret billionaire playbook, and Elon Musk is perfecting every step of it.
Tesla founder and CEO Elon Musk just disclosed the purchase of over 73 million shares of Twitter.
Shares of Twitter soared by more than 20%.
Spending nearly $3 billion to buy up 9% of Twitter.
What kind of power does this give Musk?
On the 4th of April 2022, it was announced that Elon had bought 73.5 million shares of Twitter stock, giving him a total ownership stake of 9.2% in the company. The $2.9 billion investment makes him the largest shareholder and puts him even before institutional investors such as the Vanguard Group or Morgan Stanley. This power move sent shockwaves around the world's media outlets, with the wildest reactions around what this move might mean for the future of the platform.
Maybe the end game is acquiring the company outright. It would be a much easier endeavor to take than kind of starting something up from scratch.
I think we're all watching this, scratching our heads a little bit.
Enable not just what we consider free speech to circulate, but like a lot of problematic forms of content.
Musk, could try to take a more aggressive stance here.
And I think he'd like to somehow convert the followers into something good besides just following.
But among all that confusion, few people seem to realize that we are witnessing a classical billionaire playbook, and Musk is taking it to a whole other level. Before we explain the billionaire power playbook and examine where Twitter might be headed in the future, let's first look at why Elon Musk bought Twitter. Last time I checked, Elon was worth around $270 billion give or take. Roughly speaking, the purchase price of his Twitter stake corresponded to around 1% of his net worth. Putting things into perspective, let's suppose you are worth $100,000. Buying Twitter to Elon Musk was like buying a new laptop worth $1,000, or buying a $10 OnlyFans subscription if your net worth is $1,000. Whatever you can relate to more. But hold on! There's a big difference here. Your laptop or OnlyFans is not increasing in value, and many outlets claim this is the reason why Musk might have invested in Twitter.
It's increased almost 30%, so if he were to actually sell his stock right now,
he could turn around and just sell this Twitter stake, and he would have made a lot of money in a single day.
He would have made $1 billion.
Who are we fooling with this armchair analysis? Musk literally has so many options to make a couple of billions. Twitter is the least attractive one. He could put another seemingly useless gimmick on the market. How about the Elon anti-tank missiles? Or spearhead yet another startup idea venture? How about exciting company? Or a quick tweet about how cryptocurrencies are about to go to the moon? So why did Elon buy a Twitter stake? Let's clear up some confusions. Musk owns 9.2% non-controlling stake. That means it does not give him any special voting rights to change Twitter's strategy or operations. On top though, Musk agreed to become a board member after being invited by the Twitter CEO one day after disclosure of his stake.
Parag Agrawal, the CEO of Twitter, saying that Elon Musk is exactly what the company needs, which is interesting.
His director agreement stipulates that he is prohibited from acquiring more than 14.9% of the company, a clause meant to limit how much power he can wield over Twitter. But nobody really believes things are going to stay that way, for a good reason. In prior tweets, Musk has complained frequently about Twitter's policy pertaining to freedom of speech. Or, as Anthony Pompliano put it recently,
usually, like, Elliott management try to take an activist position at Twitter and they want to fire the CEO, right?
Yeah, like,
Elon's like, dude,
Twitter,
can we just
like,
get better memes on Twitter? Yeah. And like, oh, by the way, can you guys stop deleting tweets of people who you disagree with?
Yeah. Never mind that Musk needs to get all his Tesla tweets approved by the SEC because he was accused multiple times of market manipulation, most notably for his tweet explaining that he'll take Tesla private. Or his frequent cryptocurrency pumps, putting Bitcoin on the Tesla balance sheet, accepting it as a payment, not accepting it, and shilling Dogecoin. But that's what free speech is for. Musk even sent the SEC Eminem lyrics to get his point across.
Yeah, part of the filing said the SEC will let me be, or let me be me, so let me see. They tried to shut me down.
This is why White Knight Elon invested in Twitter. But is it that easy? Just free speech? Of course not. The problem is that most commentaries and media, in the case of Elon Musk, focus on the micro, whereas we think in this case it's important to zoom out and focus on the macro. The reason why Elon Musk bought Twitter's stake is because it's part of the Billionaire playbook on how to acquire power. It's a playbook that has already been followed by Laurene Powell Jobs, Michael Bloomberg, or Jeff Bezos. And Musk is taking it to another level. Imagine you have billions.
I'm talking about liquid. Rich enough not to waste time.
What do? There's two options. If you are a billionaire with zero interest in politics and zero exposure to the consumer market, you live anonymously in a chalet in Switzerland enjoying frequent snowboarding trips. But if you have the slightest political interest and exposure to the consumer market, you will try to influence public opinion. Because public opinion drives your revenues to a certain extent. So the next step is to acquire media assets. What are the options? Traditionally, it was newspapers and TV stations. Nowadays, there's another option emerging: social media platforms. Donald Trump pioneered this method in some sense by announcing a SPAC aimed at launching a social media platform for conservatives. And Elon Musk is following up by securing a stake in Twitter. This allows three critical conclusions about Elon's thoughts about Twitter. He sees it as an important distribution channel to influence public opinion. He thinks it might be endangered at some point, be it by free speech impediments or other issues. He believes the best way to secure his distribution channel is by acquiring a stake in it. Why a social media platform and not a newspaper like the other billionaires? Twitter has an impressive reach that is easily competing with every traditional news outlet. Even though it is just the world's 7th favorite social media platform, its user base is expected to keep growing steadily over the coming years. And most importantly, Twitter is seen as the best way to get news. News about Tesla, news about SpaceX, news about Elon Musk, and so on. On top, since Trump, it has become an important medium used by numerous officials and politicians to make official announcements. There is no other media platform that has a similar dynamic. Lastly, buying a Twitter stake instead of a news outlet is a much more subtle move. A move that is perfectly socially accepted.
Who else should have input into strategic direction and management of this company? Elon Musk has 80 million followers. Probably best to listen to the power users.
And a move that still allows Musk to take slow control of one of the most important media platforms in existence. Imagine Musk would buy CNN. Hell would break loose. So what will happen to Twitter now? This is difficult to say, especially with such a volatile Bateman chat character like Musk. But the most likely scenario seems to be the following. There are a lot of opinions and memes about how Twitter will change now that Elon has taken over control. But at second glance, it seems unlikely that Elon is able to dedicate a lot of time to really push Twitter forward strategically. He is simply wearing too many hats at this point with all his companies. First and foremost, Elon's move is a statement. He's saying, look, if you try to F with free speech, we'll be coming for you. Secondly, what is very likely is that the existing management will work harder than they did in the past, or even be replaced partially. The public, and more important, the Elon Musk fan mob, will closely monitor every move of the company, which might ultimately result in beneficial changes for the end consumer. But you know what the ultimate boss move is? Amazon buying MGM.